In the previous tutorial, we have seen that how to use for loop in Python, and I hope you have done the practice with the for loop. In today's session, I'll discuss about the for loop with else. We have already learned else with the while loop. So else is also available with the for. And after that, we will learn the nested for loop, and then we'll see one more built-in function, that is range. And range function is very important. So in this video, I'll discuss about the range function also. So let's see what is a for loop with else. So in Python, a for loop can have an optional else block. Okay, so as we have already seen that else can be a part of a while also, and that is optional. So else is optional with the for also. The else block is executed if the items in the sequence used in for loop exhausted. Okay, so if you have any number of the elements in a sequence that you are passed to use in for, and if the sequence is exhausted, means all the elements has been finished, then the else block will execute. So let's see with the example, and it is very simple. Just come here and create one a list with my list. I'll create with the name my list is equal, and list can be any value. So I'll create a list with my, again I will create with my application's name, that is, and another one is Java Provis. Okay, and I have this one, provisapps.in. And the syntax, we know that we use for any variable name, so that variable name can be any valid identifier. So I will write for I in my list, and I will print all the values, and I'll print I. And after that, I will write the else of this for print, and I will write a message, all the elements are fetched. Okay, so let's execute this one and look at the output. As you can see, the first element, that is C provis, after that C++, then Java provis, provisapps.in, and since all the elements has been already fetched from the list, after that it will not find any element in the list, so it will execute the else part, that is all the elements are fetched. So this is very simple syntax that you can use. So I hope this is clear. When the else part of the for loop will execute, when all the elements of the sequence will exhausted, then the else part will execute. Next is nested for loop. As we have already seen that how to use the nested while loop. So nested for loop means a loop within loop. So a nested loop is a loop inside a loop. The inner loop will executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. Okay. So just look at here the example. For example, I have a list that contains the values red, big, and tasty. Okay, and after that another list is fruits that contains apple, banana, and cherry. Now I will execute first loop for the adjectives, that is red, big, and tasty. So for every value of this outer loop, the inner loop will execute uh, all means execute till all the elements are not fetched. Okay, so just look at the output here. When the first element will be fetched, that is red. Okay, so x will have red value, then it will enter into the nested loop, then it will fetch from the values from the fruits. So first value will be fetched apple, as you can see, then it prints first value, that is red, and then apple. After that it will fetch the next value, that is banana, then as we know that x has the same value, that is red, then you can find that the red banana, then red cherry. After that, it will find that there is no element in fruits, so it will stop the execution, and after that it will again go and check the outer loop. Since outer loop is not finished yet, so it will fetch the next element, that is the big. So as you can see, the big, and for this value it will execute and it will fetch all the elements from your fruits. So big apple, big banana, and big cherry. Next one is testy, and then you can find that testy apple, testy banana, and testy cherry. So let's do with the example also. I will write one list that will have value like 1, comma 2, comma 3. Okay, and another is new list that will have some values like A, then B. Okay, so for every value in my list, I will execute for J in new list. Okay, and it will print the value of I and J, and else part is optional, so you can have if you require. So let's see the output. So let's see here, look at the output. For every value of the outer loop, you can see the inner loop is executing for the all the elements. Okay, so 1a, 1b, 2a, 2b, 3a, and 3b. So if you want to debug, then you can check by yourself to debug that how the values are updating. So this is the way that you can use the nested for loop. Next one is the range function, and range function is very important because uh, it is very much in the fashion to use the range function in application in and in for loop. So what is the use of range function? First, understand the range function is the built-in function, and you need to use in your program. That's it. If you have any um, if you want to generate this the sequence of the numbers, then you can use the range function. So we can generate a sequence. Just remember this one. The sequence means the range function can be used with the for, because it generates a sequence. And we know that the for uh, can be used can use with only the sequences. Okay, so we can generate a sequence of numbers using the range function. Now, how the range function works? So range function has two prototype that you can use in your application. First one is the range, and you will uh, provide the stop, means the last value. And remember this one, the last one, just look at here. Range function only accepts integer value. So if you write here the where you want to stop, that sequence will be generated. So where you want to stop that sequence, so you will provide that number. Okay, and always this range function always starts from 0. Okay, so always it starts from the 0 and will stop till stop minus 1. One tip I will give you here, and that will very helpful. If you find any function, okay, uh, anywhere, if you find any function that accept a start and end, means a starting and a stop position, so remember this one, whatever you will provide for the stop position, that will be exclude. Okay, that will not include in your generation in your uh, application part. Okay, so if I write stop and I provide the 10, so it will not go to the 10, it will go till 10 minus 1. 10 will not include. So the stop will be exclude in the range. So it will always start from the 0, and if I provide the range 10, so it will generate 0 to 9, a sequence from 0 to 9. Okay, so look at here. If I write x is equal range and 10, okay, so it will generate a sequence, so we can use in application, means in the for. So for I in X, we can write why? Because X is a sequence, because range generates sequence. Let's print that I value. Okay. And after that, I will do this little bit formatting. So that's N. So look at the output. Now you can see it generates the number, always starts from the 0 till stop -1. Okay, so whatever the value you will provide, according to that value, it will generate the number. It will generate the sequence actually. Okay, and if you don't want to generate like this, then you can direct write this range 10 in place of X here. Just look at this. Okay, now look at the output. Again, you will find the same output: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so if you want to execute that, the for loop should run 10 times, 20 times, so you can use this syntax. For example, if I provide 20, so what will be the range? So range will be 0 to 19. Why? Because 20 will not include. Okay, the stop will not include whenever the sequence will generate with the range function. Remember this one. So now look at this, 0 to 19. So you can generate and you can use. Another prototype is that you can use. You can provide your start position also. Suppose you don't want to start from 0. I want to start from any other value. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, or -1, -2. So if you want to generate, if you want to start your sequence from a specific or a specified number, then you can provide that starting position. And stop, definitely, because it will stop at that position, means stop -1. And a step, as you can see here, just look at this. By default, the step is 1. As you can see, 0. After that, it takes one step, that is 0 plus 1, 1. Then it takes another one step, that is 1 plus 1, that is 2. Then 2 plus 1, that is 3. So we can say that the default step count is 1. Okay, so you can provide your step count also, that no, it should take a step of 2, a step count should be 3. So according to your requirement, the application's requirement, you can provide the steps also. So we can also define the start, stop, and step size. Okay, a step size default to 1. Remember this one. Okay, a step size by default is 1. If you don't provide the step here, it is by default 1 if not provided. Like if I write range 110, so it will generate the number from 1 to 9. Why 1 to 9? Because I'm providing a starting position and I'm providing the end position, and end will not include. Just remember this one. Okay, it will be exclude. So let's see with the example. If I write from 5 to 20, so let's see what is the output. So as you can see, it's it is starting from the 5 and till 19. 20 will not include. And by default, the step count is 1. So if I do not provide the step, then it will take the default value. And suppose I want to start from 1 and till 20, but the step count should be 2. Okay, so now look at the output. So as you can see, 1, then a step count will be 2. So 2 plus 1, that is 3. Then 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, and 19. So it will stop at this value. Okay. So this is the way that you can use the range function. Now the requirement is I want to generate a number from 10 to 1. Okay. So what you will do, you want to start from the 10. So you will provide the starting position as 10. Stop position is 1. Okay, so what will be the step that will generate 10 to 1? So 10 minus 1, 9, then 9 minus 1, that is 8. So step count will be negative. Just look at here. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. But I want to generate till 1. Okay. So as we know that the stop position exclude here, so I will provide 0. Okay. So look at the output. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And at the last, I want to mention one more thing. That is, suppose I want to generate 1 to 10, 1 to 10, so that will be 11. And step count is if I provide 1. So that is the default value. If you don't provide, then it will work fine. But I'm just mentioning. So just look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fine. What if I provide any negative value? What will be the output? Just look at here. No output. Okay. Why? Because when the sequence will generate and the first value is 1, so you want that step count is -1, so it will not generate any sequence in this case. Now if I provide 0, the step count should be 0. Just look at here. So you will get error. Okay. So this is the thing that I want to show you, that in range function the step count cannot be 0. Just note down and remember this point. Okay. So for I in range 0, you will get value error. Argument 3 must not be 0, as the Python says. So it should not be 0. Just remember this one. So I hope a range function is also clear to all of you. If you don't, if you have any doubt, then you can put your queries into the comment box. So definitely I'll give you the proper answer. So that's all for this video. I just want to discuss about the range function and nested for and for with else. So I hope the concepts are clear now and you will use in your application. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and share these videos. And if you haven't subscribed, then please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Thank you. Bye-bye.